Hey guys, Corbin with Complete Home Concepts here. So it's my favorite time of the year. The temperatures are starting to drop. It's starting to get a little bit cooler out there, and that means it's time to start using your fireplace. So in other videos, I talked about how and why a gas insert. Why should I know about it? What is it? Why should I choose a gas insert? And really, what is a gas insert? So it's time to get past that. I've got those videos linked down below. Go in, check them out if you haven't looked at them. Subscribe so you start seeing a lot more of these. But today I get to dive in and actually beat up one of my own units. It comes from one of my manufacturers, Heat and Glow. And this unit is one of my favorite units for multiple reasons. And today I'm going to dive into why. So today I'm reviewing the Escape series. On the right of me, I have an Escape 35. And this unit is identical to the Escape 30. There are no differences outside of the size. They're a little bit skinnier, a little bit less deep, and a little bit less tall. But everything else, the features, the colors that you can get, the fronts that you can get, they're all the same as far as looks go, performance goes, outside of a little bit of heat loss, because you are going from a 30 to a 35. Or 35 to a 30. Everything else is the same. If you have a choice between the two and money is no object, go with the 35. It will perform a little bit better just because it is a bigger box and it's going to push out a little bit more heat. So the only two reasons to go down to a 30 is if your box can't do a 30 and your room is too small to do, I'm sorry, I did mean 35 there. Or if your room is too small to accommodate a 35. This guy will push out a good amount of heat. They are designed to push out heat. So if you are in a tight, small room, I don't recommend the Escape series, let alone the Escape 30 or 35, just because they push out a lot of heat. So maybe we step down to a Supreme that I'll do in another video. We get down into the better categories. A little bit less heat down there. So Escape 30, Escape 35, why is it the best insert from Heat and Glow? They tout it as a good, better, best system, and why is this one the best? Well, a lot of that is functionality, a lot of that is performance, and the last little bit of that is aesthetics. So let's dive into the aesthetics part first, because that really ties your entire room together. So with this unit, there are 5 different fronts. I'm not going to list them all. You'll go look up a brochure. You'll go look at their website, and you'll see all of them. Come to my website. I've got it all on display. Or better yet, come down to my store. I actually have all of the fronts on display. You can actually see them, touch them, feel them, and see if you really like them, as well as their different colors. So 5 different fronts. 4 of those actually come in 3 different colors. So you'll have black, you'll have graphite. What I'm showing here is a new bronze, which ties in a lot of your browns. So that way, with those 5 different fronts and 3 different colors, you can really tie your room together. So both your front and your surround will have a choice of 3 different colors, except for that one front that I said doesn't have different colors. That one's going to be your arched iron. What is it? It's a forged iron. That one only comes in that iron color. So then you go to your surround and you pick, probably graphite or black to tie in the rest of your room. But that front does only come in one color. I've had some people, come in, they look at it and go, okay, I want that one in bronze. Unfortunately, you can't get that one in any other colors, but it looks really good. It's a handmade forged. And if you're into a really rustic look, that one might be the right one for you. So I've got the Escape 35 here burning. I've got the Galleria front on here, and mine is in new bronze, like I said before. So with the Galleria front, you'll see a nice big opening here, big arch there as well, which is really good looking if you have that big eyebrow arch or a big rounded look to your fireplace in the beginning. Or if you just want to make your room look a little bit more rounded. It doesn't need to be all straight cuts and straight angles like we see in a lot of things today. A lot of our traditional fireplaces are square boxes. This gives you a little bit more of that arch look. Okay, so with mine, I did go with the same color surround. You do not always have to do that, but graphite and bronze and black and bronze, depending on your look, they don't look great. But what I like to do when I get over to the graphite side or the black side, as far as the fronts go, I like to change it up a little bit on the surround, depending on the room, and match a black front with a graphite surround, or a graphite front with a black surround. Depending on the room, it looks really good and it ties the whole room together. You'll see that on a couple of my other videos. I've actually got that on a couple of my inserts so that you'll actually get to see that. So I want to talk about aesthetics first. It's the easiest category to cover because it really ties your entire room together. One of the big things about this, we have those 5 different fronts, 3 different colors, but we also get that anti-reflective glass. So that way it's not reflecting any of the windows behind you. It's not reflecting anything else but that fire in there. You get to look in there and you see a gorgeous fire. Then from there, we've got what they're calling a clear view screen. It's really just a very fine micro mesh, but it doesn't get in the way of actually seeing that flame. You still have to have that mesh on there that is 100% code. And the reason you do that is I'll go ahead and touch this screen. I'll say, ouch, it hurts. But that's the end of it. We as humans, and really it's the adults, we see fire and for some reason we want to touch it. Okay? If that mesh wasn't there, I'd go in and I'd end up touching the glass and I'd say, ouch, it hurts, please take me to the hospital. I've got some really bad burns. Usually in that tone. No, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt really bad. So that mesh is very important. Then from there, we've got the LED embers. They're going to be right there in the middle, and what's great about those is they make your fireplace a year-round feature. You can turn them on, you can turn them off, but what's really good about it is June, July, August, especially here in the Midwest where we have 100-degree days, you really don't want a big fireplace cooking. You don't want it on at all. So you turn on those LED lights and it looks like your fire just dialed down. For me, my birthday's in the summer, so anytime I have people over, I want to show off my fireplace. It's part of my house. I took a lot of time figuring out which fireplace was right for me, and in those summer months when I can't burn it, it's just an empty hole if I don't have anything else going on with it. Those LED ember lights actually tie into your house and make it look like a year-long feature. I don't have to turn the unit on for me to get compliments on it anymore. I can just turn those lights on and I'm good to go. The next thing is going to be that fire brick in there. So when we get down to the better category, that fire brick is going to be more aesthetic looking. It's not going to be, or aesthetic in function, it's not going to be as functional. These units come with the fire brick pre-installed from the factory. They will be in every escape. Whether at the 30, 35, it's a red herringbone, or I'm sorry, it's a red stacked brick on this one. Very good looking, very traditional looking, but man, does it push out heat. They are meant to push out heat. These guys, top to bottom, are designed to seal up that hole and push out heat, making them one of the best performers out there. So we get into performance next. What these guys do is they seal up that hole and they push out a ton of heat. When you're talking about the 30, you're going to get up to about 36,000 BTUs. A lot of that is going to be because of how much flame it can push out and the fire brick that's in there. When we get up to the 35, we're going to go up to about 40,000 BTUs. When we get up to that 40,000 BTUs, remember there are 5 different stages of the flame. 5 being high, 1 being very low. When we see that, you're going to get your fluctuation on BTUs because you don't need the 40,000 BTUs on a mid-spring day. Sometimes you just need a little bit of heat, so you've got that control. So there's our functionality piece. Is they are nice and warm. Man, do they work. You push a button and you turn on. So the next bit is you get into that remote. And it does come with the RC400. I've gone over that in other videos. The RC400 is a touchscreen thermostatic remote. There's a lot of big things coming down the road with these remotes, from the manufacturer. They're saying that they're going to be able to tie in with some of your smart home things, like your Alexa, your Google. They're not out quite yet. It's October of 2019, so they're right there on the horizon. We'll see them soon. Don't buy the remote for that. Don't buy the system for that, but it'll be a great feature later on. I'm not a big fan of buying things for future features, but buy for the features that it has right now. That touchscreen remote is extremely sensitive. It works really well, especially on the thermostatic side, which means I can set my room to 55 degrees, 65 degrees, 70 degrees, whatever it is. And when it gets lower than that, my remote will turn my fireplace on. How simple is that? And it'll turn it on and keep it on until it can maintain 70 degrees. Then it'll turn it off when you get to 74. Maybe you're one of those ones where it has to be 70 to 73 degrees, and 74 is too hot, 69 is too cold. You have to be in that certain temperature range. For me, I like it a little bit colder most of the time, so once I get down to about 64, 63 degrees, my fireplace turns on, and it maintains until about 68. I keep it in that very narrow window, but a little bit colder. So I've gone over a lot of the great things about this unit is, everything you can do with it. It is a very versatile unit. You get a lot of things included: that remote, the fire brick, the Clearview screen, the anti-reflective glass. My biggest gripes with this unit is it is a very big unit. There's a lot of houses that we get sold on this, and when we go out to do that verify or that pre-sale, and you go out and you look at everything and you measure it up, this unit just doesn't fit. Whether it be the 35 or the 30, it's too wide, it's too deep, it's too tall. So we have to go down to something else. And at that point, you were so sold on this unit that it will just be a compromise at that point. So go in, measure your unit before you come in, and you get dead set on this big unit. That's my biggest gripe. The second one is going to be that fan. It's not quiet, especially on 3 and 4. It's going to be loud. You're really just pushing out a lot of air, and Heat and Glow hasn't figured out a way to do that and push out a lot of air quietly. I know they're working on it, but they're behind. They've got to get it a little bit better for me to grade this as a perfect unit. But it's one of my favorites when it comes to the insert side. So there you have it. That's the Escape 35 and 30. One of my favorite units when it comes to the gas insert side, especially in the 35 range, because it can push out a ton of heat. And I got a lot of really nice houses in my neighborhood that have, or not my neighborhood, in my city, that have very big fireplaces that are just useless because they don't ever want to burn wood. They don't ever want to clean up after the wood. It's cold throughout the year. This fixes all of those problems in one day. We come in, we install that unit, and it's fixed that day. No longer do you have that cold flue. No longer do you have that cold room because all of your heat is going out that chimney. No longer do you have just that eyesore of a fireplace that only works a couple times a year. And if that, you burn 1 or 2 fires a year because you're tired of all the wood. This guy, you push a button, it turns on. It's that simple. It is that simple. So thanks for joining me, guys. If you liked the video, like it down below, hit subscribe. Join me on a couple other videos. I'm going to be reviewing a lot of other inserts because it's that time of year. Throughout the next couple months, I'm going to start reviewing other fireplaces. So if there's something that you want to see, let me know. Let me know in the comments. We'll get this thing going. So have a good day. Thanks for joining me.